There seems to be some confusion in this space, though, because we had Simon Birmingham, we had Dan Teen as well on this show last week saying that international travel is not going to be able to resume in any significant capacity until the second half of next year. Is that the time frame that you are working towards?
I'm not putting a timeline on it at all. We will resume international travel when it is safe to do so and when the medical experts advise accordingly. That's what we've done the whole way through. There's no textbook that you can pull down from the shelf, open it up and say, well, this is how we address this particular issue or that. We've followed the advice by Brendan Murphy, by Professor Paul Kelly all the way through. It has kept us in good stead. Yesterday, as I say, no locally acquired cases. We've worked with state public health authorities and officials, those wonderful first responders who've done a magnificent job right throughout the nation, and we've kept Australia as COVID-free as we can. That's why we are the envy of the world. That's why tens of thousands of people got out to a sporting event on the weekend, went to their favourite restaurant, lived life as normally as they could be. Whereas overseas, tens of thousands of locally acquired cases, again, more deaths, sadly, heartbreaking for so many families in other countries, and we've living life as normal as we can be, and that's because we've followed that at best possible medical advice.
Alan Joyce is working towards October, though. Is he going to need to change his plans?
I speak to Alan Joyce most weeks. Most weeks I speak to him, and of course he wants international travel as soon as possible. But we'll do that when it is safe to do so. Of course, we know that planes in the air means jobs on the ground, and that's why we have provided so much assistance to the aviation sector. Hit first, hit hardest when coronavirus first came to our shores. But let me tell you that that has also supported many Qantas workers, that assistance that we've provided, more than $3.2 billion, and we'll go on supporting those vital aviation networks right across the country, and particularly to rural and remote Australia.
Okay, as we've already reported today, a plan is already in place, rather, to return migration or try to return migration to pre-pandemic levels. When do you expect migrants to be allowed back in?
Well, I sound like a broken record, but when it's safe to do so, because we've taken the best possible medical advice. We need migrants.
But it's at zero at the moment. That's the problem here, and that in itself is key to our economic recovery.
Peter, we're 90,000 backpackers short of where we would normally be, and so many farmers have had to plough their fruit and their harvest back into the ground. That is so sad. But we want to make sure that as soon as we can get migration happening again, we'll do so, because migration has helped take some of those jobs that otherwise cannot be filled. And the Regional Australia Institute has identified 66,000 jobs in regional Australia going at the moment that can't be filled, and we want to make sure that those positions are taken.
Well, why not build quarantine facilities and allow migrants to come back and enter quarantine through quarantine? That'd speed things up, wouldn't it?
Well, possibly, but then again, we've got to have the health services to be able to support those quarantine facilities. We've got to have the regional communities wanting to make sure that they also provide that support. So I appreciate there was talk of one at Toowoomba, and I know the Prime Minister spoke with Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk in regards to that, and we'll continue to have those discussions, but also we'll take the best possible medical advice as we've done the whole way through.